Last night, the Lakers put up another impressive win for their eighth straight victory against a very good New York Knicks team. Lakers are continuing to surge. They're doing really just an amazing job since the addition of Luka Doncic and continuing to prove people like myself wrong. Just how great they've been playing. But the story of that game was not what happened between the lines. It's what happened outside the lines, so to speak. LeBron James went to the sidelines and confronted one Stephen A. Smith very, very publicly and very visibly while still in uniform right after the game was over. He went right over to the sideline and it looked like he was basically cussing him out from what I was seeing. You know, a video's been out there, it's been viral. Stephen A. went ahead to give his side of the story, so to speak, on his show First Take the following morning. And what he had to say was basically that LeBron was getting on him about what has said about his son Bronny. He took a lot of exception to that, and he let it be known publicly. A lot of people are, you know, on LeBron's side, obviously, and a lot of people are killing Stephen A. right now. And honestly, I do get it from LeBron's standpoint. He's a pop, you know, he's a father. You're supposed to protect your son and defend him at all costs, for sure, when you feel like he's been wronged. I'm not at all challenging him about that. But I think people are kind of not seeing the whole picture here when it comes to how we got to that situation. And I'm going to go ahead and basically, you know, give it from my standpoint. First of all, if there was ever a moment that Stephen A. or any analyst said anything personal about Bronny, said anything about anything off court that ain't got nothing to do with basketball, that's a violation in my opinion. You got no one has a right to be talking about somebody else's personal life. It's not your business. It's not my business. It's not anybody's business but their own and their families. So if there's video of that, if there's something that I'm missing, I would like to see it because I have not seen it. What I have seen is Stephen A., Mad Dog Russo, all the analysts on First Take, people on Fox Sports 1 talking about Bronny on the basketball court, talking about LeBron James on the basketball court. I did a show this past week with my good brother Josh. He hosts Highly Opinionated, great show. Everyone check it out every Wednesday. This past week, we talked about LeBron's comments on being the face of the NBA, how Anthony Edwards didn't want that title. And LeBron said, well, why would you? You know, and all this stuff. Me and Josh had a couple things to say about it. We've since had some backlash from it, saying that basically we're being insensitive. I'm going to say the same thing I said on there, and I'm going to stand by it. And it applies here, quite frankly. I said this generation of superstars in the NBA is extremely sensitive, in my opinion. The main ones that I see constantly, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, and LeBron James. Again, I am not getting on LeBron James about defending his son. That is what you are supposed to do as a father. I get it. I am not challenging that. What I am going to challenge, though, is we need to backtrack and see how we got here. When Bronny was at USC, there was a lot of speculation that he was going to leave USC after his freshman year to come into the NBA. He came back from the cardiac arrest. Thank God he is alive and well and playing basketball. Thank God. But we did not, a lot of people, including myself, did not believe that he was ready. I'm on record saying that I think he should stay in school. He should not even touch the NBA right now. Not yet. I'm not saying that he can't ever get there, but just not yet. He went ahead, went to the draft, ended up getting picked 55th overall. And it was reported that he basically got a guaranteed deal. So you pause and it's like, well, wait a second. That's not very common that a second-round draft pick in the NBA gets a guaranteed deal, let alone the number 55 pick. There's only 60 picks in the draft. Why does the number 55 pick, this number 55 pick, get a guaranteed deal? Then you see his last name. You see who his father is, and it's like your mind goes to, oh, hey, that's why. It's LeBron James's kid. It's not just any NBA player. It's LeBron James. That's his son. Now, there's a lot of people out here that are saying a lot of, you know, really trashy things about Bronny, which I am 1,000% against. People are saying things like that he is never going to be a good NBA player, that he's just a Nepo baby, and he'll never, you know, really be a good player. I'm very much against that. I've seen this kid play in G League. He has a chance. It's one thing if he flat out can't play. I've been watching him in G League. He has a chance. He can play. You don't just become a Division I basketball player, first of all, and not be able to play. Let's get that out of the way. So, yeah, he's not ready yet for the NBA, and we've seen that throughout the course of the year. He's been up and down the G League. He's had his moments where he's gotten in games where the Lakers are blowing him out. He's gotten some significant time, but you just saw it. It's not that he's not trying. He's not playing hard. It's just he's not ready yet. I thought he needed some time, and he clearly does. There's no disputing that. But where we get to is that what I feel like we've gotten to is we can't criticize LeBron James or Bronny on the basketball court. We can't seem to do that without all this backlash coming in. People out here saying that we're just hating on the James family. We're hating on LeBron. We're hating on Bronny. We want them to fail. All this stuff because, God forbid, we could be comment on what they do for a living, which is play basketball. That's what all these sports shows and all these podcasts that talk about sports, that's what we're talking about. I'll reiterate what I said so I'm 100% clear. If there is video of Stephen A saying things about Bronny that are out of bounds, ain't got nothing to do with basketball, none of it, I want to see it. I genuinely mean that. Like, I might have missed something. It's possible. But by all accounts, I haven't really seen that. Now, there was a show that he did where Bronny, I think they were playing against Philly, he was getting toasted. I mean, let's call it what it is. They had him on Tyrese Maxey at some point, and he was getting toasted. Tyrese Maxey's a really good player. Bronny's a rookie. He ain't ready yet. And that's basically what Stephen A was saying, that he was telling LeBron to stop this. You know that he's not ready. Just keep him in the G League. Let him get better. Now, could he have worded better? Sure. It looked like he was like, okay, like stop this. It was a little dramatic in my opinion. I thought he could have worded it better, sure. But he wasn't getting on Bronny the person. He wasn't bashing Bronny saying that he can't play ball. He was saying he's not ready for the NBA yet. And I still think that. I think this kid has a great chance to still be a very good NBA player. He's learning from great individuals. His dad, first of all, is one of the greatest players of all time. And JJ Redick, who is a very smart basketball mind and has proven to be a very good NBA coach. He has a good structure around him to become a very good NBA player. And I'm cheering for them to do that. But we can't seem to comment or criticize on their games even, which is crazy to me. Like Kevin Durant, we can't comment on Kevin Durant's game without him getting all sensitive and getting on a burner account on Twitter to respond. Bro, I said this last week on the show. What has he done since he left Golden State? He ain't won nothing. He's won nothing. He hadn't even been to a conference final since he left Golden State. Those are facts. Everyone has seen it. It's right there for you to Google if you don't believe what I said. Same thing about the videos. Go look on YouTube. Go look on the internet. It's all right there. But we're hating on the person. Bro, we're commenting about what you do as a basketball player. I'm keeping it on the court. Everything else has nothing to do with me or anything like that, and it's none of my business to comment on it. It's out of bounds. It's violating. I would be the first to say that if that is the case that Stephen A was doing with LeBron James. If he was violating, out of bounds, getting nothing to do with basketball, he's wrong. I didn't see that. All I've seen is First Take talk about Bronny as a basketball player, what he has not done, what he has not been consistent with, the fact that he's up and down the G League, the fact that he is flat out not ready. That is not out of bounds in my opinion. But because it's LeBron James, because it's Bronny James, if we comment on LeBron's game, if we comment on things that we may not agree with him saying, it's crucifixion for the person who said it. It's not unheard of that you're going to disagree with a superstar like LeBron James. You're not going to agree with everything that he says. And the other thing is, LeBron did have comments that then put even more of a spotlight on Bronny. He's the one that said he wants to play with his son. He's the one that said that whoever team draft Bronny is going to get me. These are his words. I never played in the NBA, but I played basketball long enough to know that you need to be extremely careful about what you say in front of a microphone and in front of a camera. Because especially when you're an athlete. Because the media is waiting for you to say something that can turn into a story. That's the game. LeBron James confronting Stephen A on the sidelines, that's content. Stephen A said he had to talk about it. Kevin Love is tweeting saying, oh, you really had to talk about it? Yes, he did, because you know why? That's his job. That's how his show stays at the top of the rankings. Content like that. That's the game. It's not personal. It's not attacking someone. It's content. That's how you stay up. That's how you make it in the industry. You gave Stephen A content by going up there and making a scene in public. You think there's not a camera on LeBron James everywhere he walks to, like especially when he's on the basketball court in Los Angeles? You think that they're not going to see that? He knew they were going to see that. He knew. He's not stupid. LeBron is a brilliant person. He's not an idiot. He knows what he's doing at all times. I know that. I'm very confident in saying that. So the thing that this is why I say that a lot of people are being very sensitive right now, because we can't talk about your game. We can't criticize you. We can only praise you when you're doing well and talk about your game when you're doing well. We can't say anything about your game. We can't say anything about your son, who is an NBA player on the same roster as his dad. That's why it's a topic. It's not just any son. Respect to everyone. It's not just anybody. It's Bronny James. It's LeBron James's kid. LeBron James is one of the greatest players who have ever played the game of basketball in the NBA. It's not just anybody. That's why it's a topic. So, and Stephen A's on record saying he didn't even want to watch Bronny early on because he didn't want to bring more attention and more of a spotlight to him until he was ready. So here we are, after LeBron's comments saying all that stuff about how he wants to play with his son and how he's better than half the league. He can be a Laker right now. All this stuff, like, that was LeBron James saying that about Bronny. That wasn't anybody else making those comments. That was LeBron. And look, he's confident in his son. Awesome. That's great. That's what a father is supposed to be with his son. I'm not getting on LeBron, the father. He's doing everything that a great father is supposed to do. We are talking about basketball, the game, inside the lines. That's what we're talking about. We have to be able to do that with any player, especially a superstar, all-time great like LeBron James. And yes, what comes with that, like I said last week, what comes with being with the face of the league is people are watching you. People have things to say. They're going to have things to say, either positive or negative. The same thing applies to Bronny James because he is LeBron James' son. That's what it is. I'm not saying that I'm not saying it's always fair. It's probably a bunch of people that are saying a bunch of unfair stuff. I just said it. It's people that are flat out saying Bronny need to go sit down and not play basketball again. He's not good enough to ever be an NBA player. I never said that, but there's people out there that are saying that. That's the game of sports media. People are doing whatever they can to get clicks, likes, and subscribers. Do whatever they can to keep their ratings high. That's the game. So, and again, if anybody is commenting off the court, you're violating and you're wrong and you're weak, in my opinion. But if you're talking about the game, you're talking about basketball, you should be allowed to do that with anybody. LeBron James is no exception. As phenomenal in all time as he is, as promising a future that his son has, being a Laker with his dad, tremendous story. He is not absolved from being criticized on his basketball game. That's it. Just a basketball game. He's not absolved from that. We need to stop being so sensitive when it comes to LeBron and Bronny, as long as it stays within basketball. So I'm not saying that because Stephen A have worded things better. Yes, absolutely. We all can do better. We can all word things better. But he's never, from what I've seen, he's never been deliberately disrespectful to LeBron and Bronny, saying things that are flat out of bounds. If you have a tape of that, if you have an article of things that he may have said that I missed, by all means, let me know. But until then, we need to all stop being so damn sensitive and just be able to comment and criticize on NBA players. That's what the game is. And NBA players need to stop being so freaking sensitive and just do what they do. Be who you are. I'm not saying don't speak out on it. If it's something you're not cool with, cool, speak out on it. But my thing is, be prepared for the response. People are just not going to just not say anything. That's not how it works anymore. People are going to say what they got to say. Everyone got a mic. Everyone got a camera. Everybody got Twitter fingers. Somebody is going to say something because they care, because you're great. KD, Draymond, LeBron, you guys are all-time greats. People want to have something to say, positive and negative. In LeBron's case, Bronny is literally playing in the NBA with you. There's going to be attention on him now. And some of that was brought on by LeBron James. Let's be honest.